Here we go.
We're live.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Digital Fiasco Live for another lovely Monday. My name's Dandr0id.
And I am Jack McBastard.
That would be his name.
A lovely Monday?
Yeah.
Are you insane?
Sorry, I'm mental with sleeplessness right now, so...
Oh, that'll do it.
I'm actually surprised I even knew it was Monday today.
It is, in fact, Monday.
I actually just wandered into your house, and luckily it was Monday, because any other day, there would have been no pants, and it just would have been a scary scene.
Yeah, no, I can tell that it's Monday from the ache in my testicles for being repeatedly kicked over and over again.
And it's only the beginning of the week.
Oh my god, at least it's a short week.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
Because actually, I have both Friday and Monday off.
Yeah, my schedule, again, with working overnights, it's a little bit weird, so... I guess technically my short week is next week, because I think the Monday's the holiday.
Oh, yes?
But either way, looking forward to that.
Oh, indeed.
Because, yeah, it was just work into chaos, and then it's back into work. So I haven't had time to really kind of chill out and relax yet. So.
Oh, I remember when there was a break between work and chaos, and it just wasn't the same thing.
I know, and that feels like it was years ago now. And Tron, thank you for saying hey, and welcome to the chat.
Tron. How you doing today, sir?
And yeah, my phone is... I put it on mute because it's going to be doing a lot of things right now. I actually just got a brand new phone, so so it's sitting here downloading multiple apps and whatnot. So yeah.
Yes, I also have a brand new phone. That is unfortunately my work phone.
Oh, okay.
Which I am.
It's
an
iPhone.
I do not have. Oh, believe me, I do not have a choice, and I kicked up a stink. It was like I tried to go like so many times, but nope.
I could just see you like going into work and right. Here's your new work phone. You're what is this?
Like, drop it like it's hot. No, it was...
throw it against the wall like it's hot.
No, it's because of the... Was it Mass 360 you have to install on it? It's a security thing, and apparently because Android is like open...
If it's what they're based on, that's fine. You don't pay for it. It's your work phone. It doesn't matter. So
not only that, but I also have to... his kids got dropped off to boot camp.
Shit, what do you do? Burn your garage down?
Family tradition, I guess. Who knows? Could be both. I mean, no reason you couldn't do both.
I just assumed the worst. If he's a military kid, then good on you.
And he's playing Ark on his PS4 since he downloaded it, so get ready for some death.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
That's gonna be,
he's not going to be all crazy about it like Discount was and be like, hey, you guys should be playing Ark right now. Why aren't you playing Ark right now?
I mean, probably not at his place because of his whole internet situation.
Right.
By the way, he probably shouldn't find out that here in the studio we're getting like the 300 megabit internet.
Oh God.
Yes. So sorry.
Fastest Ark around.
I've also realized that I'm wearing my slightly more reflective glasses. So if I start seeing myself kind of reflect, I may have to stop for a second
and shut that damn zone alarm off.
I'll shut you zone alarm off.
Hey, David Wade, welcome to the show.
Wade, how you doing? Let's just start the clock here.
Oh, good plan.
Yeah. So what have you been playing lately?
Like I said, it was work to chaos, back to work. So I haven't got a chance to play much. Okay. I did pick up my physical copy of Mega Man X Legacy this weekend, though.
Excellent.
And even though I didn't get to actually play it yet, there because I went to a convention this weekend, there was a lot of reminiscing about said games in the X collection, and especially about the games that I haven't experienced yet.
Experience is probably the best word for
yeah, that's kind of what a lot of people joked about, because I'm like, oh, you haven't played that one, and they're kind of like talking about, kind of just how bad it is, or it's just like, oh, well, there's this one part that's kind of cool, but the rest of it not so much. So it was kind of neat, though, to actually hear some people talk kind of pros and cons of some of the other games that you don't really hear that much about. So I actually had conversations with people talking about like X5 and X7. I actually talked to someone, one of my friends, about, even though it's on the X Legacy collection, he actually was telling me about Command Mission, which was the RPG-esque kind of one.
That was for the
PS2 and GameCube.
Right.
And apparently he's a fan of it. And even though it gets, a bad rap a lot of the time, it is something that I didn't know much about, and I actually am kind of intrigued by it now, even if it isn't, the greatest Mega Man game, which it never could be, but
No.
I am kind of interested in playing that one. But yes, I did pick up my physical copy, so I think I have 3 physical copies of games for PS4 now, and the rest of it's all digital.
Wow.
So.
You truly are a child of the new millennium.
It's just, I don't know, it's ease of use, I guess. PSN has their awesome flash sales.
Sure.
That makes things really tempting, too.
I mean, that's true. That's largely why I choose... If I do end up choosing digital over physical, one of 2 things has happened. Either it's ridiculously cheap on PSN, or 2, a game that I didn't think I would like turns out to be excellent.
Yes.
And that's... Unless you have no other choice, right? Like the normal sort of mini download games or the ones that are digital only.
Yeah.
Generally, I like to have a physical copy of the game. Mm-hmm. But I'm not averse to it. It's just, I just like to have it.
Yeah, so basically, haven't got a chance to play it yet, but I'm really excited too, because obviously Mega Man X, one of my most favorite games of all time. I've only played some of X2 and some of X3, and then kind of it just trails off after that. It's like I've randomly played like maybe a level or 2 of said games thereafter, because it's like, oh, he happens to own this one, or my buddy had this one way back in the day or something, and that was it. So
yeah, a lot of the...
it's kind of nice to have it all in one place, and for better or for worse, I'm going to play them all just to say, yes, I have completed all these games.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Especially X7.
Right.
Because holy shit. Now, yeah, you want to talk about a game that's an experience? Even I've only played a small portion of that game.
Yep.
And holy fuck.
Not so good?
Yeah, I don't know how they fucked it up that bad.
Mighty Number 9 called?
Sometimes that felt like the predecessor to Mighty Number 9 or something. Like
sometimes having a winning formula isn't the be all and end all.
Yeah. But yeah, that's actually, you know what? There's something I actually played more recently. We can kind of bring that up as something that I played.
You played
is that what happened was way back when Mighty Number 9 was first coming out.
Right.
I bought it on Steam. And so I had it, and then of course played, a portion of it. And I was like, wow, this is flaming garbage. I'm never playing this again. And then sure enough, I believe it was last month or the month before, we got Mighty Number 9 for free on
Humble
PS
Bundle?
Plus.
Oh, did we get a PS Plus too?
Yeah, it was on PS Plus.
Oh, great. I've got it in both places. Pretty
only,
sure I have
only if you claimed it, though. Only if you claimed it.
I'm pretty sure I still have the key. I'm pretty sure it was on Humble Bundle.
But either way, so what I did was... because I had played it on Steam, I don't have a great... I have like a PC controller. It looks kind of like an Xbox, PlayStation knockoff controller. So I was like, I don't know, maybe that ruined part of the experience or something like that. So I was like, I'll give it another try. I have it on my PS4. It's free, whatever. And I love the PS4 controller because it has the D-pad in the right place and everything like that. Like it's really nicely set up for a proper 2D platformer. So I was like, I'll give it another try because it's not a long game. I'll just like fire through it, and so I can have an official kind of word on it to say. Because before I only played like 3 levels of it, I think, and I was like, this sucks.
Looks like Janice Marine has just found our channel and asks if we have video.
Oh, do we have videos?
I think apparently we do videos.
Yeah, I think we do a couple of those.
Damon Blue is apparently getting some mad frame drop. Let me just quickly check the production computer, making sure we're not like dropping huge frames.
Yeah, go take a look. We did have a little bit of an issue before the show started, but
0 dropped frames.
0 drop frames. So
you
reset your browser, I guess.
Just a quick refresh.
But anyways, so yeah, I think that was a few weeks ago. I was sitting there. I was like, I need something quick to play because I think it was between when we were going to LA or whatever.
Yeah.
So I fired that game up, and I was like, I'm gonna give it, the old college try and actually try to finish the game, and then I can have an appropriate response to it.
Yeah.
And then, so I played...
also heavily endorsed loot boxes. We do not.
I played it. I played all of the levels. I didn't get all of the extra content, even though there's not a lot of extra content in it anyways. And no, that game still fucking sucks my ass. So, yeah, it is fucking terrible. Yeah, like Pac-Man's death. Yep. Yeah, no, it's not a great game.
Oh, Jack, I love loot boxes.
It's one of those things, like, they're typically with, PlayStation, Xbox, whatever, when they give away a free game, it's at least worth playing. Mighty Number 9 is not worth playing. I got to the point where I got to the final form of the final boss.
Yes.
And I played it for I probably tried to beat it for like an hour and a half or something like that. And the spikes in difficulty in that game, like some portions of some levels or some bosses are so stupidly cheap or just broken that it's to the point where it's just like, why the fuck am I even playing this right now? It's not even entertaining, and it's kicking my ass from time to time.
So newsflash, Mighty Number 9 is bad for anyone still on the fence after a year of being trashed.
But it was one of those ones. It's like, again, being a Mega Man fan, I wanted to give it its kind of official, finalized thing in my mind because and that was it. So I didn't actually finish the game, but I got to like the final form of the final boss.
Okay,
and that boss is just fucking horrendous. Like. The entirety of like the background, the foreground, your character, and the boss are all shades of like red, blue, and purple. So everything fucking blends together, and it's just a huge pixel fuck of a mess on the screen, and it looks terrible, and you can't tell what's happening half the time. Like I was getting to the point where I was watching YouTube videos of people beating this boss, and I was like, I'd have to sit here and fucking watch these patterns for the next 3 hours to understand even what the boss is doing in half of these sequences. So it was pointless. I was just like, nope, that's it. This is my final flag, and it's fucking garbage. I'll never touch it again.
Just delete it and be done.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no shame in admitting defeat because the game is awful.
And
and thank you, Cog Whistle, for following.
Thank you very much for that follow, and welcome to the stream here.
But
that's kind of the final flag in it. It's done. It's awful, and that's the whole thing. Is I love the Soul series. I love a challenge. I love tough games. That is not a tough game. It's a broken game, and it is just it's sad.
Tough to deal with.
It's very tough to deal with. Yeah. So there you go.
Okay.
So that's the final say on that. So yeah, that was a few weeks ago, but that's kind of what I had played a little more recently.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So what have you been playing?
Well, I finished off Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and I actually went ahead and got all of the random pickup bullshit that I had to do to actually get the platinum in it. Okay. Because I actually hadn't gotten it from, I guess last year it was released? Or a year before last, I guess.
That, yeah.
Yeah, like last year.
Yeah, because they took a break between that one and Origins. And Origins came out last year, right?
Yeah, I guess there was a year between. I think there was still a year between Syndicate and the one before that as well, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway, between Syndicate and Origins, there was definitely a year, and now there's going to be, it's just next year, or the end of this year will be Odyssey. But anyway, I finished that off, got the platinum in it, and put that aside. And I started playing No Man's Sky.
Okay.
Of course, the next update.
Of course.
Right? And we talked about a lot of that last week, and there's a bunch of shit in it that I didn't even realize was there.
Well, I had watched the developers video on it saying everything they did with it, and not only did everyone get the multiplayer they've been asking for, but a lot of just those little quality of life changes of like, storing items and like different menu changes and like all this kind of just little fiddly bits like that just make it that much better of a gaming experience.
So the first thing I did is I went into the options menu and turned off multiplayer because fuck those people who are going to invade my game. I don't want to have any Dark Souls issues.
Is it like a Souls series? Like they can jump in your game and just fucking kill you? Or?
I don't know if they can kill you. I know they can fuck with your shit. Because basically,
they
it's
can
like,
just grab all your minerals and run with them. Or?
I think it's more the effect of they can affect your bases, they can screw up your bases and stuff. I didn't want to get too much into it, and really, I don't want to deal with people fucking around, running into my stuff, and harvesting my resources and shit. Fuck those people.
Makes sense.
And
Mimkill says, he's a fan of the update there, and he's going to add it to his backlog.
It definitely has revitalized not only my interest in the game, but like if you look right now, I think it's the 5th or 6th most played thing on Steam right now.
Yep, exactly.
Which is crazy for like a 2-year-old game.
Well, because that's the funny part is that either
that isn't League of Legends or one of those.
Yeah, one of those crazy fork knife.
Fork knife.
Yeah, because you're going to get those people who bought it back in the day because they were promised said game, or they just wanted to check it out because of curiosity.
Yeah.
And they already have it in their backlog or in their menu there.
Right.
And then B, you're going to have those people a little more like me that held off to see more of that content come out and then finally pick it up. So either way, it's like they either have the game on hand or people are like, hey, the game's done. Let's buy it.
Yeah. So 2 things became readily apparent to me.
Okay.
One, there were vast and sweeping changes to the game.
Okay.
Including, like, if you had a base, it's gone. Like, you can pick up all the pieces and put it back down again.
Okay.
But they picked it up and basically put it into storage, essentially.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And a lot of the technology, the old technology, is obsolete. And you get, like, what's called technology modules, which is used to install new technologies. So a lot of the things now are not so much tech that you know, is there are upgrade units you can buy and install.
Oh, okay.
And they're like one shot.
Oh.
So that's interesting. It has the same effect where like you have to group them together, you get like sort of additional like synergy bonuses. So that is neat. The second thing I learned is that on my permadeath survival run,
Oh, no.
a lot of my technologies that are required to survive on all the planets was no longer there.
Oh.
So for the first little while, it was like, oh, this is a problem.
Is that like you were camping on like the worst planet in the universe, and you wake up and you're in your boxers and all of your shit's gone, basically?
I don't know if we've ever talked about No Man's Sky permadeath survival, but every planet in the universe is the worst planet in the universe. There is no sunny blue skies planets.
So it's not just hard mode because of how you have to act in the game. It's hard mode because every single planet generates as a death planet, basically.
Yes. So all of them are extreme, either weather or toxicity, or they have like swings in temperature, or just extreme high or extreme low temperature.
Okay.
Or there'll be an extreme sentinel planet where they're like aggressive and actively hunt you out whether you do anything or not.
Okay.
Or there's just a lot of them.
Is there a corn planet?
No, and there is not one with the sun that screams at you. But
That would be hilarious.
But interestingly enough, I landed on one. And by the way, there's also a huge visual update as well. So there's like all of it looks better. Like there's actually like an atmosphere. You come through clouds and shit as you land.
Yeah.
So like makes a huge difference. One of the things were like weird fucking planets. So I landed on this one planet that I swear to God, because of the nature of the atmosphere, everything on the planet, like it looked like Mad World. It was all like,
oh really?
Yeah, except if instead of like white and black, it was like black and darker black.
Oh jeez.
Yes, and it was like like the only color you could see anywhere was red.
Oh.
So there was black, like lighter black, slightly darker black, and red.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fucking creepy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yes. So, on top of that, another thing they added, occasionally you'll find this on this planet, even if it's a completely desolate planet, and it tells you, oh no, there's no life on this planet, you're fine, go. Occasionally you'll look on the ground and you'll see this thing called a whispering egg.
Oh, that sounds ominous.
And it looks like any of the other like unique resources you'll find on a planet. You go, you touch it, you interact with it, and suddenly you're being attacked by things that look like a cross between the alien from Alien and the alien from Pitch Black.
Oh, jeez.
Because they have these weird kind of big hammerhead and big teeth. And
they have wings and shit.
They don't have wings, but those ones might. These ones are just like big alien-looking fuckers, and they scuttle at you in packs of like 10.
Wow.
I don't know. I got butchered so very badly the first time. I never touched one of those fucking things again. So maybe once I load up on technology, I will go brave those planets and kill some whispering egg things. But yeah, they were fucking nasty as shit.
Yeah, no kidding.
So anyway, long story short, next is awesome. All kinds of new technology, all kinds of new interactions. They have like a refinery now.
Oh, okay.
So you can take a normal resource and refine it into like a more, I won't say a pure form of it, but like it's a more condensed, I guess. Typically, you'll need these more advanced resources to make technologies.
You're like purifying them, basically.
Essentially. So typically, anything that you use to charge like a gun or your engines or whatnot, your normal stuff, it'll take like half as much of the other stuff.
Okay.
But you get like a 2-to-1 ratio, so it evens out. And then some of the things refine into even more pure forms. So like one thing will turn into like 2. So depending on what you find, you have to basically mix and match shit to get the right things you need for the recipes, and eventually you'll need like advanced materials that force you to like combine 2 different resources.
Oh, okay.
And you know, as you go in the higher technologies, you can almost make a round robin. If you have like excess of this, there's almost always a way to convert it with like great loss, but sort of down the line to something else you need.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of takes some of the scavenging out of it. Also, now that I've got like on your backpack, you also have like a cargo section.
Right.
So you can carry way more shit.
Go figure.
Right.
Backpack carrying stuff.
And they revamped all the inventory management systems so you can teleport stuff back to your ship, back to the freighter, back to the storage on your freighter. It's like it makes it way easier to deal with all your scavenging, which is good because you have to scavenge way more shit.
I was gonna say, yeah. There's always room for more.
Right. So it's really cool that way. And the bread and butter of the game, your scanner, they revamped how that works and made it way more useful.
Okay.
So you have your pulse that goes out and it highlights resources, and you bring up your scanner and it'll highlight like there's a resource deposit in this direction. Oh, in this direction there's a structure, and it'll give you all the readouts on your planet on one side and all the things you can find on the planet on the other, and it gives you like all this data in an easy to use format. And you can use it for a lot of other things. Like you can scan a ship to see how many cargo slots it has before you even. And then you can go talk to the guy and try to buy it from him. The freighter system is awesome. It kind of plays like the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood thing.
Okay.
You have like a whole fleet of frigates that follow your freighter. And you send them off to do jobs, and they need a certain amount of fuel, which you give them.
Is it always about finding resources, or can they do? Is there other jobs that they can do?
It depends. Like, there's different types of missions. There's like trade missions. There's trade. There's combat. There is in industry, and there's a fourth one. I do not recall. It might be like some kind of social or diplomacy.
Smell the roses.
Right. And then there's like mixed missions, which you need sort of like you put together a fleet. You can like send out multiple ones at a time too.
Right.
And it gives you a total at the bottom, and missions have a certain difficulty. And then they come back after a certain amount of time, and it reads off kind of like a report, like progress quest, where it's like, I was in this system, this happened, shit exploded, blah, blah, blah. If things go badly, you might actually get a message from them saying, "Oh my God, blah blah."
Like an SOS.
Right. Basically, should we continue? We're like we've taken a bunch of damage. We can't repair it.
Oh,
should we try to continue, or should we come back?
Oh, neat.
Yeah, and when they do come back, you'll show them in your fleet as damage. And they're a physical ship that you can go to and land on, and you have to go and repair that damage before you can send them out again.
And do you have like repair drones that you could just send off to do that? Or?
No, you physically have to land on it, but it's easy enough. It just takes like a few various types of minerals. You go in, you click the button, and you repair that console.
Okay,
gets going, and it's good to go.
Simple enough.
Yes. They added a bunch of other shit, like there's atmosphere condensers. You can take like resources out of the atmosphere and shit.
Holy
and
shit.
Farming has been all revamped. It's like they've made so many quality of life changes to this. It feels like a brand new game. And I liked it before. I really like it now.
Now, before when you liked it, though, did it feel like a complete game? Or now with all these new kind of things, does it feel like a complete game now? Does it feel like this is kind of more finalized now?
It feels like a complete game now, but they can still add to it. Like the framework is there to add.
Yeah.
But before, it felt like they were playing catch up. Like the original game felt really empty.
Right.
And I still played a lot of it. Once they started getting into like Foundation, then Pathfinder, then Atlas Rises, like each one of those added like so much more to do. They have like the exocraft, they have the base building, which they added a bunch of parts to as well. And the bases are way bigger now, and you can build multiple bases.
I was gonna bring that up because it's funny that somebody posted a GIF of one, and he says, "You wouldn't believe how much bigger the bases are now that they've allowed them to do this." And it's
ridiculous.
It was literally a GIF of a guy who had, I guess there's like a piece of the base that just looks like a cylinder with glass. It's like a viewing room or something like that.
Right.
And he built probably about 200 of those on top of each other into the stratosphere.
That's
so this guy's like
insane.
in his suit on top of this tower looking down at the curvature of the planet, and he jumps off the top of it, and it literally takes him about 20 seconds to actually hit the water. And it's just the same tower, you just see him coming and goes past the clouds like in the atmosphere and everything. So it's like, oh, those bases are way bigger now.
That sounds like something I will absolutely have to avoid doing in my permadeath survival run.
Well, apparently there's no fall damage into water, at least. So.
I don't know if that's true on
either that or he hacked it or something, because he literally, maybe on permadeath or something.
Right.
Because literally, he was just on top of this tower, dove off, and there was like this. It was funny too. I think he built it exactly like this because there's a bunch of land around him.
Yeah.
But it was near the coast, So there was a little pool of water near the coast, but it was all like yellowish orange sand around it.
Okay.
And he landed like right in the middle of that because it was right in front of where the tower was built. So
you have the
I think he built it specifically for that.
Because you have the terrain deformer. You can make
there you go. Maybe he did that
lakes
too.
and shit now.
Because he put it like just in the right spot, and he lands in this little tiny pool of water right in front of this tower that it was like 15 or 20 seconds for him to like fall to the ground. I'm like, wow, that is really far up there.
I mean, each one of those things takes, I think, 300 ferrite to make. That would be a lot of goddamn ferrite to make it up.
So he probably took his entire fleet and said, "Go find ferrite. We're building a diving board."
Well, I mean, it's common to get, but I mean, like, you need so goddamn much of it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no kidding.
But yeah, maybe in creative mode we'll do shit like that.
Yeah.
So, time to build Coruscant. You're pretty close, right? I mean, it's crazy. Like, I'm really enjoying it now. You're a ferrite. Well, you got me there. Zinged me again, Namekill. But yeah, they changed the names of all this shit. So I went into my storage and I put up all my vaults, and all the stuff is still there, but it's all completely renamed and does different things. So like I have to recalibrate in my head what's useful and what's not, what I need to recharge shit. And they actually made it a lot more, we'll say, friendly for recharging stuff. Like your shields on your ship, you no longer have to expend resources for them to recharge, but if you want them to recharge like now, you do.
You can still do that, but there's like a backup kind of like just a power source or something that just does it automatically.
It's like you're regenerating shields, right? On your ship. And look, when you're in combat, you don't have time to go into your menu and recharge your shields and shit while people are shooting at you from 3 dimensions.
Oh, Tron wants to know if you've seen a Sentinel Walker yet.
I have. They are large.
Apparently the size of a 2-story building.
Fun fact.
Yep. They don't like to get shot.
Sometimes in this version, you can run across them before you get to like a level 5 alert. And they're just like a big folded up box of machinery.
Oh, okay.
And I see it there, never having seen this in this form before, and I go, let's fuck with this. That was a mistake.
So when you say it's a folded box of technology, is it like, I don't know, for some reason I'm picturing one of those Brontosaurus things from Horizon Zero Dawn with the big like satellite head, but folded up into a box, and when you poke it, it goes and folds out and like crushes you or something. Like, is that kind of what it is, or
didn't they had something like that? I think in Ghost in the Shell, where they dropped it and just unpacked.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's like one
that.
of the little spider tank units, but it was like more cubic.
It is basically just a big cube. It's taller than your ship, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I get close to it, like a chump, and it just unfolds, and suddenly it's like, oh, it's the horizon.
And did it crush you, or does it shoot you?
Oh, it shoots you.
Okay.
Oh, it shoots the fuck out of you. And did I mention that all of my technology, like all of my shields, were not there at the time?
Oh, of course.
So I watched my life bar go. And I'm like, oh, yes. And my jetpack technology, that was gone, so I couldn't be boosting away or anything. It was a very tense few minutes there. So, yes, it was not great. So, yes, we have seen the giant walkers. It was kind of crazy. This year for Christmas, Jack's going to get his Virtual Console, and I'm going to get the Quarry and Andromeda DLC. Yeah, both of those have an equal chance of happening.
And you're going to be dreaming of those chestnuts at the same time.
I mean, at this rate, I'll still be playing No Man's Sky next, so I don't know. It's still the same goal, right? Like, there's a story, and there are missions and stuff, but I think it still needs a better end game or a better sort of through line for the story.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But for someone like me that can handle a open-ended exploration game like Ark or Fallout or something like that, it's great. As
long as you're the type of player that you kind of make your own fun out of a game that doesn't have that story that's kind of pushing you forward, I guarantee you'll have a lot of fun with it. But
which is funny because neither Daniel nor Jackson can handle those kind of games at all. They find them they can't handle an aimless game.
Really?
Yeah. They need to have a story.
They really sink into that story, and that's what drives them forward.
Right. But I mean, there is a story in Fallout, but it's like just the fact that you can like explore it at your own
It seems like a
race.
secondary note to it. It's like, hey, this is happening, but
Right.
you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I mean, like Skyrim drove them insane, essentially, which is like shocking to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway,
Yeah, because like those games, like I love those because I'm a creative person. So it's like I rarely get to experience much of the story because
Right.
I'm off doing my own thing, and I really kind of make my own game out of it.
I mean, that's true for you. I wouldn't say that it's just cut and dried, and because that would label both Dandr0id and Jack as not.
Oh no,
creative
no,
people.
of course, no. That's the thing is it's kind of
Yeah.
teach their own, because I know that you like kind of a bit of both.
I like building.
whereas they're kind of one side
Yeah.
of it. I'm like the complete opposite side of that.
Yeah. Oh, and also scanning creatures and flora and stuff is much more lucrative now. So there's actually a point to doing it.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
that's good.
Yes, and it's very useful for those nanites, which you need to buy all your tech. So, all right. So this is Digital Fiasco Live, episode number 34, where we're going to talk about all the latest news in PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, and PC gaming. So let's get started with some discs, digital, and DLC.
See, you screwed with the name, and now you can't fucking say
Hey,
it.
man, it's all about getting used to it. It's the triple D.
It's the Triple E. It's just downloads and DLC. That's why I say it that way, because it's, it goes nice. So, this week, there's not a lot going on this week.
There's not a lot.
I know that, for me anyways, being an indie fan, this is kind of a big week just because of one specific game that is finally coming out. I've been following this game for about the past 3 or 4 years now. But it is a 2D platformer Metroidvania style called Chasm.
Chasm.
Or some people call it Chasm, but it's Chasm. It's
people-
a divide, like a Grand Canyon, like a big
Chasm.
hole in the ground,
Yes.
that kind of thing.
Some people mispronounce all kinds of words, but
Yeah.
it's chasm.
Like aluminium.
Well, that's a
I know,
cultural
I
thing,
know,
right?
It's a cultural thing.
That's a cultural thing.
I
Don't
kid,
cause a
I
controversy.
kid. Now you're gonna say that every time because it's in your head now.
Nope.
But anyways, Chasm, this is a huge one. Has gorgeous pixel art, very deep kind of RPG like kind of system, Metroidvania exploration. Absolutely just gorgeous art through and through.
Reminds me a lot of like Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, exactly. It's strong notes of that, but the overall feel, it looks almost like what a 2D platform of like a Legend of Zelda would be like, or something. If it was like modernized.
You know what else makes that game special?
What's that?
It's out for PlayStation Vita.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Which is something you rarely see these days. But
Yes.
again, that would be a great one to have on your Vita.
You remember the PlayStation Vita?
Absolutely.
I like the PlayStation Vita.
I think there's about 5 of us left on the planet.
Yep.
But anyway, so that's a really big one. I'm really looking forward to that. I've been following it for a long time.
Sure.
And then what was the other one we had here?
Nothing.
For those of you that love your top-down shooters that are incredibly difficult to play, just because they're bullet hells, we have another one in the Toho series. So it's Toho Sky Arena, Matsuri Climax. So if you're into the Toho games, go buy that, because I'm sure you're going to get it, or you've already gotten it, because holy shit, Toho fans, they love anything that comes out that's Toho flavored. So.
Looks like we got, I believe that's Daniel in the chat right now as Player's Guide.
Hey,
Hello,
other Dan.
Daniel.
Welcome to the chat.
Daniel will be back this Wednesday with Jackson to talk about, I believe they said, Final Fantasy.
It was the Final Fantasy deep dive,
Yes,
I think.
Yes. I don't know if it's like specific. I think it's specific to that series.
Well, if it's him, he can
Yes.
tell us.
Yeah,
He says hi.
Hello.
And if you want to let us in on what's on the Player's Guide this week, I'm sure the chat would love to hear that.
and the PSP was great too, but it was like the Vita was such a great piece of kit. It
The PSP was kind of what was the Vita, or what the Vita was supposed to be, or vice versa. The Vita is what the PSP is supposed to be. No, it's like I don't know, it was that predecessor. Like,
yeah.
When they released the PSP, they wanted it to be like the next big tech. They wanted their own DS, and it didn't quite hit it. So then they went on to, they released the PSP Go, which was just kind of a little iteration in the middle.
Well, the PSP Go was kind of their bid to make a digital-only console to head off all the piracy, which killed the PSP. Mm-hmm. But
and then you had the
PSP
Vita, which was
games.
that like jacked up PSP on steroids, had great build quality,
right,
amazing screen on it. It had okay battery life.
Battery life was not great.
It was okay.
Well, I mean, it was a huge system, right?
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Well, that big, full color screen, brightness really eats it up.
Yeah.
But again, solid fucking system. But again, just a lot of developers didn't bite. PlayStation didn't put I think, enough money into it, per se, to really make it as viable. Because the whole thing is, it's kind of that give and take of, you can only advertise it so much before it's like, we really can't do much more with it.
Well,
so.
it's kind of the breaking point between high performance and high cost, right?
Yeah.
How far can you bring down that cost without sacrificing performance?
Exactly.
And I think the cost was really what killed it.
So the interesting part about that is because not many people are a fan of it anymore, it doesn't fetch a huge price. So if you do want to get a Vita, you can actually get one. They're readily available.
The sad thing is, anyone who uses one is such a great, like, it feels so good.
It
like
is.
The technology, the touchscreen, and everything.
It feels like a proper Sony system. Like
Especially,
it has beautiful build quality. It feels good in your hands. Again, the screen looks amazing on it.
Well,
but
remember, you have to get one of the original ones with the OLED screens, though.
Oh, I forgot. They changed the screen after all to save price.
It's still good, but it's,
Although, to be fair,
makes a huge difference.
I think the newer screen that didn't look as good. It also saved on battery and weight, though.
Possibly.
I think that was one of the bonuses.
I think the battery was still pretty.
Either way, good system. Unfortunately, it just didn't get eaten up by the public. So
a couple other things coming out. Forsaken Remastered, if anyone remembers Forsaken, that was an old FPS game.
Like the 3D Flyer one? Like
no, that's Descent you're thinking.
Well, no, I remember playing Forsaken 64.
Oh, I don't know what the 64 one was, but that's the one.
It was very much like Descent, though. It was that free flight, indoors, like battle arena kind of thing.
But the Forsaken Remastered is coming out for Xbox One and PC. And also, a couple of good ones for the Switch coming out. Titan Quest is coming out for Switch tomorrow.
Oh, that's a good one.
Great game. And Iconoclast coming out August 2nd.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
for the Switch as well.
If you have not played Iconoclast, go play Iconoclast. It
good
is
game.
It's fucking July right now. Still, it's in my back of my mind for one of my games of the year. It was fucking spectacular. I absolutely adore that game.
Guess it's pretty good. All right. So, Games with Gold. We're almost into August now, and August. I can't believe it's already coming into fucking August.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it? Yep.
We'll be shoveling snow soon.
Oh, don't say that.
I'm just saying. Anyway.
You're just going to curse us all now.
Games with Gold. Games with Gold. That's going to start dropping right away. We have coming up in August, Forza Horizon 2 Standard, the 10th Anniversary Edition. That's going to be available for August 1st to 31st on Xbox One. You were saying before how Xbox and PlayStation give away good games. They're not all winners.
No, that's what I'm saying. Time to time, it's kind of questionable.
They're also getting For Honor Standard Edition.
Ooh.
August 16th to September 15th for Xbox One.
That's your free ticket to Loot Box City right there.
Dead Space 3 from August 1st to 15th for Xbox 360 and backwards compatible for Xbox One. Yeah, Dead Space 3 gets a lot of flack, but it was still a good game. It's just out of the three, one of them had to be the worst one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Disney Epic Mickey 2, The Power of Two, August 16th to 31st for Xbox 360.
I didn't even know they made a second one of those. And the first one was a Wii exclusive.
Was it?
Yeah. You could only buy it on the Wii because it had the paintbrush thing with the Wiimote and stuff like that. I'm actually shocked by that.
Wasn't that one Epic Mickey? That was one that Warren Spector was working on, right? Wasn't it?
Well, I don't know if he was working on it. I remember they made a big deal out of it because it had a bunch of original Disney artists working on it. It had some animation in it. It harkened back to all the classic Mickey era cartoons and had a lot of kind of Easter eggs about all Disney history in it and stuff. They really, really went to town on making it a thorough experience.
I don't know why they did all that because it was not a great game.
No, and that's kind of, I think they got blinded by all the cool shit they were trying to put in it, and they forgot to make a solid game around it.
Right.
So actually, that's why I'm really shocked that they made a second one, because I don't think the first one sold that well anyways.
Hey, they've made 3 Lost Planet games. I mean, shit happens.
Quick second on that.
Oh, Jesus. Why does that remind you of anything?
Because I was looking at just random art the other day, because I was looking for just some pieces, inspirational pieces for certain characters and stuff. And I came across this set of characters, and I was like, these look really cool, and I've never heard of this game before.
Lost Planet?
No. But that's the thing is, it's a game made by Sega, and it's technically based on Lost Planet, but after the third game, because they all didn't sell very well and they were not well received, they made another game, but it was a completely backwards version of Lost Planet. So it was still a 3D shooter and stuff like that, but it was cell shaded and super colorful and super anime inspired.
Wait.
But it had a lot of the same mechanics to it.
Wasn't Lost Planet a Capcom game?
Oh, maybe it was Capcom.
Okay.
I thought it was Sega.
No.
Okay, Capcom.
Okay.
Then. Either
Good
way,
enough. Yeah.
yeah. So those games went the wayside. So what they did was, I think they took the bare bones mechanics of Lost Planet, and they made this like crazy, colorful, cell shaded shooter out of it.
Okay.
And I think it was called like EX Troopers or something weird like that.
Oh God.
And yeah, but apparently it was a Japan only game. But I saw this art from it, I was like, this looks really fucking cool. And then I went back and like the wiki for it, and sure enough, that was it. It's gameplay and some of the mechanics and stuff like that came from the Lost Planet games. Because they were like, this didn't work. Let's make this colorful, friendly, weird version of it. And Japan liked that one better. So
That sounds delightful.
yeah. So yeah, just kind of it reminded me of that when you said Lost Planet.
Okay, yeah.
Little
again,
history lesson there. I don't know.
Yes, take us down that trip to Amnesia Lane. Okay, so let's get to the news.
All right.
So,
just a note.
yeah,
PS Plus.
we haven't gotten anything.
We haven't seen it yet, so that's why we didn't say anything about it. 'Cause,
Nothing official.
Yeah, nothing official. There have been rumors, but I don't like the rumors for those ones.
No,
I like the official. Like, this is what we're getting.
You do a search online right now, all you're going to see is people going, "Oh yeah," and they have no fucking idea.
Yeah, they're either shouting something or like I looked at an article that said it was posted like 6 hours ago. Where they're like, "Yeah, PS Plus hasn't been leaked yet, so you just have to wait for it."
Typically, the EU ones come out first, but they're not always the same as North America.
They're actually rarely the same, I find.
Depends. Like some of them, sometimes they are with some exceptions.
Because I've been thoroughly disappointed sometimes by like, oh, we're getting this game, and no, Europe got it. Shit. But anyways, on to the news.
On to the news. So while we're talking about No Man's Sky, apparently, even with all of the new stuff, there are some people that are still unsatisfied with their No Man's Sky experience.
Of course, because people have to complain about something.
And have demanded a refund. But this time, it's not Sean Murray's overenthusiasm to blame. Turns out, players who purchased No Man's Sky on GOG.com, Good Old Games, they are unhappy to discover that their version of the game will not have multiplayer in it until later in the year. Like much later in the year.
Only from GOG.
Only from GOG.
That's so weird.
Yeah, on its website, GOG.com said, while we have limited control over games and content update, we want you to have the best and risk-free experience possible when you buy a game on GOG.com. Although Hello Games chose not to offer refunds over missing game content to our users and instead promised to bring the missing multiplayer content later this year, we understand that some of you might not be willing to wait. So they have actually started offering refunds from their site on Hello Games' behalf.
Okay.
Unfortunately, if you're just hearing about it now, those refunds, you had to do it before Sunday. So you're screwed if you got it on Good Old Games. But it will come out later in the year. This is unfortunately a casualty of Good Old Games because it's a DRM-free experience. So anybody can basically buy a game and then, 5 of my friends, we're all now playing multiplayer because you just give them the installation, right?
Yeah.
So what can you do?
Yeah, there's not much you can do about that situation.
No.
It just would have been nice if it was a little more out front about it.
Right,
But,
because it was like really at the last minute people found out about this.
John says Red Dead 2 confirmed for PS Plus for August.
There we go. Man,
boy, they're really going to have to make some money off some loot boxes if they fucking did that.
The internet would be on fire.
And yeah, Mamekill, even when I was looking for it, same shit, yeah. You click on an article that says PS Plus games for August, and it's 5 paragraphs, dotting around saying blah, 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 blah. Oh, this might be whatever. It's just like, yep, thanks. Fucking clickbait assholes.
Yeah, no, it's true. All right, so anyway, yada, yada, yada. For a small independent studio, developing the feature across multiple platforms is a hugely ambitious and technical challenge which resulted in this delayed release. Hello Games is, however, joining forces with GOG.com to introduce full multiplayer via the GOG Galaxy platform. So that's Hello Games' statement. So basically, in a nutshell, they're going to do it through GOG Galaxy so that they can validate your purchase and it'll be tied to your account.
So even though it's DRM-free...
It's like a validation step for multiplayer.
So are you still going to be able to hand that to your multiple friends? And
Probably not.
Yeah, okay, that's what I figured.
No.
DRM-free does not mean, like you can just do whatever the fuck you want with it. That's not what they're getting at.
You're not going to get Denuvo fucking with your system and eating 30% of your cycles. So no. don't worry about that. Just you got to buy the game, and it's worth it now. I mean, it's cheap anyway. They had a big sale on it for next.
It is kind of that situation now. Like if you've been kind of on the fence about it, like I have, it's like this seems like it. Like even though they are still supporting it, they are still planning stuff to put in the game. This really feels like that. This is that final release. This is the 1.0.
Right.
Buy this now because it's complete.
And they're still like once they're done their patching cycle, they still have a few bugs to work out. And I mean, I think they've released one patch already, and there's another one insert now for 1.52, which is like the next. They said they're going to do weekly stuff and like events and crap, like your typical Destiny or games as a service kind of thing. But it's all for free. There's no microtransactions and nonsense. So I'm enjoying it. I think right now you can get it for like a third the price that I paid for it new, and get all of the shit that I had to start. Like I had to like reverse engineer and like lose all my progress and then build back up again. But man, and the freighters that people are being handed for free are so much better than the one that I paid like 60 million credits for.
You had to sell your soul to get one of them.
It's like some guy got like an S-class freighter with 40 slots, and I got like some 15-slot piece of shit.
They should recognize like when you bought the game, like you bought it like day one or something like that. They should give you like a little badge that you can like slap on the side of your ship, be like, I bought this. What did you do?
Well, I mean, you get your DLC day one edition piddly ass ship that you immediately replace.
Yeah.
Other than that, no, go fuck yourself. All right, so there's another mini console in the works.
Oh yes.
And one that I'm a lot more interested in than the Neo Geo or like the shitty Atari thing.
What the Google one though, right?
No, this is different.
Oh, okay.
This is something else entirely.
So
this is a mini console.
What is this one?
So October the 9th. Packed with 64 built-in games, such as California Games, Winter Games, Impossible Mission 2, Boulder Dash, Jumpman, and the Temple of Apshai trilogy, Commodore 64 Mini.
Oh, shit.
That's right.
Neat.
It's got about like half the size.
Okay.
It's got a joystick, like those classic shitty summer games joysticks that you'll be wrecking immediately playing California Games and Winter Games. It's going to have 2 USB ports, and apparently you can connect a keyboard, like an actual keyboard, to it and use it like a functional computer.
Interesting.
So you can actually use the old Commodore 64 version of BASIC to program shitty BASIC games
in. It has the Commodore OS on it.
Yes.
But what are the guts of it? Can you do anything else with it, or is it literally
just
running the OS? Okay. All right.
I don't know what kind of a UI it's got. I'm assuming not much of one.
Yeah,
but who knows?
Wouldn't think so. I mean, if they wanted to keep it classic anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it'll have like a modern UI, and then you just click on something, and it's your old ready prompt and the blinking cursor.
They'll probably make it look old, but they'll modernize it so you can select everything easy.
No fucking ET. No, Janus Marine. God damn it.
And Maimkill, believe me, I'm waiting for it too. I almost guarantee we're probably going to hear about something like this fall or something like that we're going to get a 64 classic. Because I think they've already gone out, and I think they reserved like a site and licensing and shit for it or something like that.
They may have just done that though in case they decide to, you know, just so no one else like grabs it and puts up some other random clickbait bullshit.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Nintendo does hate money.
Yes. Impossible Mission 2, for example. The original Impossible Mission was like one of the very first games that like drove me insane with difficulty, because it was like
which one was that? I don't even remember which game that was. We had a Commodore, but we had very few games for it.
Did you ever play Zillion? On okay, so that's a Sega Master System game. Yeah, Impossible Mission, I think they had one for...
Was that like Elevator Panic or something? Or
No, but it did have elevators in it. You were like a guy, it had a rotoscope guy, you could like flip over holes, and there's a bunch of robots.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And every time you died, it like took a certain amount of time off your mission, and you had to find all these keys and unscramble them and destroy a computer.
I've definitely played that when I was younger. I did not experience the game as a whole, definitely. It was more or less, hey, video games, and I just like played a couple levels in it or something.
Every time you walk in, you get this very, very like tinny synthesized voice, and it says I don't remember what the exact line was, but it was basically, it ended with like, stay a while, stay forever. It's like, destroy him, my robots, and all this, right?
Yeah, the evil genius at the end.
Basically, yeah, whatever the guy was. And there's a bunch of robots that electrified you, and you'd like fall down and die. And there was like a million ways to fucking die in the game. And each one like sapped your time, and there was a finite amount of time that you had to complete the whole game, and you always ran out of goddamn time. But had a lot of fun with that.
Well,
so.
it's aptly named at least.
Exactly. Well, it's not called the impossible mission because it's an easy mission. This whole impossible mission thing, this is just a bluff, right?
Yeah.
It's like cakewalk. No.
Oh, and James Marine, I could totally see Sony doing that at some point. I mean, get into that game, it's free money at that point.
Did they make a Zillion 2 in North America? Because I would play the shit out of that if they did.
Sure, you look it up.
I have it. I still have the cartridge over there.
Like a Commodore cartridge?
No, well, this was
like the cassette, I guess.
No, we're talking about Zillion now, not Impossible.
Oh, that was a
Mission.
Sega game.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It was very similar, but kind of more sci-fi like.
Okay, and a little bit easier. I don't know.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
It was still pretty hard.
Okay.
2 is the one with the bike? Are you insane?
Maybe he's asleep right now and he's just sleep typing.
I'm going to have to look that up now. I'm going to make a note. I don't remember one with
number 2,
bike.
the one with the rabbit and the blender and the pink man.
Why are you dancing? I'm just hallucinating shit. Okay, so, all right. So, where are we here? 850. Okay, so, transforming bike. Oh,
Yep, this is beyond me now. This is all on you.
Yes, this is ringing a bell. Just like the anime. Oh, yes. I think I did play that one, actually. I'll have to go and look it up to be sure.
That seems like something you'd remember.
Yes. It wasn't as good as the first one.
But it had a transforming bike in it. And it was based on anime.
It had anime aspects to it, but
yeah.
I'm going to have to look that one up again. I have to remember that. Anyway, so EA has taken a service that I was already skeptical about and made it worse.
So EA doing EA things.
EA
just
being
shitting
EA.
on whatever.
Yeah, EA be EAing all over the place. So Origin Access.
Yeah.
Right? So Origin Access
This is all right, I'm putting this out there right now. This has never been great in my mind, so how did they fuck it up even worse?
I mean, I subscribed to it for a while so that I could play a couple of games and I didn't have
like
to...
the Vault games or whatever.
Yeah. It was all the stuff in the Vault, and it was like Sims 4 and shit. I wanted to see Sims 4 and be disappointed in it, so I didn't have to,
First-hand disappointment.
Right, because there was a lot of people disappointed in it. But anyway, so Origin Access, one of the key features of your subscription was kind of like the Games with Gold thing. There was like a free game.
Right.
They would just give it to you, and it would be in your library. Even if you stopped subscribing, that game was yours to keep.
Yeah, and typically... They were okay games, but they tended to be much older games, too.
I mean, back in
usually
2008...
at least like 4 or 5 years older.
Right, well, when it first started, like in 2008, they gave away Dead Space.
Oh, okay.
So it's been 10 years, and they've been giving away some stuff that was good. They gave away Mass Effect at one point, which I already had, but,
yeah, in multiple other iterations.
Right. So that is going away. Now, here's the shitty thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's already gone,
okay.
And they didn't tell anyone until people noticed, this is not there anymore.
They just swept that right under the rug and didn't tell anyone.
Yes. So all the games you had are still there.
Yeah.
So you don't lose anything, but you're not getting free games anymore, and it's like that section is gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I go into EA Origins. Oh, I wonder what I'm getting this month. Where's my free game?
Yeah.
Free games?
Yes.
What free games are you talking about? We don't do that. Fuck EA, what? Why do you do this?
Where's your free game? Don't worry about it. There's your free game. So,
get out of here.
Yeah. I got your free game right here. So anyway, I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but the brand new EA Origin Access Premiere launched, or is it going to be next Monday or this past, or today? I think it might launch today.
I was going to say, we're about to switch over months, so they probably wanted to launch it
I think
now.
it's launched today. So this is their brand new subscription service that gives you access to like the brand new EA games, like as they come out, and they'll give you like a 5-day head start on launch day. I don't know if maybe they wanted to save some cost there, but you get all the new games, you get access to the Vault. you still don't get free games there, so I don't think they're connected, but I don't know, conspiracy?
Conspiracy theory. Put those tinfoil hats on.
I mean, see...
It strikes me as odd just because... like with EA, like they're not only giving away a free game per month or whatever it turned out to be, maybe or 2 months or something. I don't know when they.
I don't think it changed that often.
When
honestly.
they regularly came out, let's say it's a month. It's EA giving out EA games that tend to be 3, 4 years old, 5 years old sometimes. Like, nobody's buying those games at this point anyways. What are they missing out on? $50 of sales here, $100 of sales there? Like,
probably not even that much.
And that's the thing is, a lot of these old games are like, oh, well, people could still buy them. But yeah, you would need... A lot of those games, like, they're going for, like, fucking $10 now. So, like, nobody's fucking buying them. So it's not like, oh, we're losing millions on giving away these free games to everyone. How dare they want free games?
And no, it's not another story of trying to quit and not being able to easily. That would be more like a PS Plus thing where you, like, lose access to all your old ones. But,
yeah.
Yeah, but it's just kind of it's an unfortunate thing.
It's just kind of underhanded. It's like, if you're getting rid of a service...
Yeah.
Let people fucking know.
Yeah, I mean...
Because it makes you look that much worse when people find out.
Right.
Then they get the torches and they're like, it's like we're going to be mad either way, but they're going to be more mad because they didn't get fucking told up front.
Oh, yeah.
The least they could have done. That's like fucking ghosting someone, basically. Like, you break up over a text, a tweet.
New download
you're just gonna
service.
Disappear.
New download service. Who dis?
Yeah, exactly. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it, EA.
All right. So, by the way, I just want to tell you, we don't have much news, but all of it is depressing.
Oh, super.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm glad everyone's here in the chat.
So, back in 2017, we're talking about the PlayStation experience in Malaysia.
Okay.
Gran Turismo series creator Kazunori Yamauchi said that GT Sport would not have microtransactions, and he kept his word to this day, and everything is fine.
Yep.
No.
This day, but then the next day?
Yeah. Gran Turismo's July update is now live with new cars, a new track.
What'd you say?
Sorry, I
couldn't hear.
Microtransactions.
Oh, yes, there they are.
Microtransactions. Fuck. Players can now purchase cars outright for real-world cash.
Okay.
As long as it's not over $2 million of in-game money. Okay. So you can't buy the really, really high-end ones till they decide that you can. Okay. And then you'll be able to, probably, who knows.
Now,
right now...
I've not played this iteration of Gran Turismo.
Yes.
But is this the type of situation where... I can race in-game, earn this cash, and buy said cars anyways?
Yes.
Okay.
If you can, like, it's a grind, right? If you remember Gran Turismo, like...
Oh, yeah, no, but that's fine, because Gran Turismo is a good racing game. When you're playing it, it's entertaining to play, so the money kind of comes naturally in that game.
Maybe.
The ones that really bug me... again, because I really love this game, the Forza racing series, like the core one, like Gran Turismo, not the Horizon, the Horizon version, which is also fun, but the Forza Horizon Zero Dawn.
I would play that game.
Where you have like a Raptor car that you're driving around.
Amazing.
That would have to be a hell of a licensing crossover because that's Sony and PlayStation first parties. Or sorry, Sony Xbox first parties. But anyways.
Right.
I love that series, but the issue that I had with it was, I think even by the second game, you bring it home, you throw it in the Xbox, you fire it up, and there's about 20 or 30 cars that are grayed out in the various garages that you literally cannot buy in-game. You have to go to the DLC like marketplace to purchase them.
Yeah.
At least with Gran Turismo, you can save up in-game cash to buy them.
Yeah.
So if you're eventually, playing the game, it's not as grindy if it's a fun game.
Yeah.
There's a difference if they're just wasting your time to grind.
That shit reminds me of that, they had that cart in, I think it was Dragon Age Origins, the original one.
Oh, okay.
And it's like advertising for DLC. It's like the guy in the game is like,
oh my God.
This great adventure, but...
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's so gross. But this is
so
this is just
like,
a straight cash grab.
It's unfortunate.
Yes.
I wish that they didn't. Or I wish they either didn't do that or would have been upfront about it again. It's like, hey, if it's gonna be in there, fucking let us know,
Well,
or else those torches are going to come out after a while.
But Yamauchi, he was the creator, but he's not the one calling the shots, right? Sony,
I guess,
makes that choice.
I guess that's fair, too.
So it's probably not a situation where he's like, oh, you know, I knew. Oh,
and Run Little Rabbit, thank you
Run
very
Little
much
Rabbit,
for
Run.
the cheer. That is
I appreciate
awesome.
that. I'm not sure why we're not getting alert noises right now. It's probably because of the change.
Because all the working cogs back there, some of them are always missing, so...
Something's got to go wrong every show, otherwise we have to turn in the digital Fiasco name.
I'll take some broken sound effects over, you know, the stream not working any day, so... There we go. You fixed it. Yay. But anyways, thank you very much for that cheer. That means so much to us here.
We appreciate it, Run Little Rabbit Run. All right, so, yeah, again, it's not his call, it's Sony's call. They're the publishers, but it's still kind of... But grinding in Gran Turismo is so egregious that it's almost like, I got to sit here and grind for hours and hours and hours, or I could pay $2.
See,
and
that's
get
the
this
whole thing
car.
is I want to know if it is actually a terrible amount of grinding.
It is a huge amount of grinding.
Oh, is it? It's been kind of reported by the fans that it's like this is a little ridiculous at this point.
I think if Steve was here, I think he could tell us, but I think that Travis, it's either Steve or Travis put in a lot of fucking time.
Okay, just to get a couple cars kind of thing.
Now, I know that actually Janus Marine played a lot of the earlier Gran Turismo games.
Yeah.
Like,
now that's
PS1
the thing is like up till about 4 or 5, like PS2, PS3 like ones. Those are the ones I played the shit out of those ones.
Tron remembers fondly the rubber band that won all those endurance races. Like, oh my god.
Oh, yes, Tron, yes.
Oh.
Close to my heart, the 800 horsepower Suzuki Escudo, the one that looked like a giant fucking spoiler, like the whole car.
Apparently, Maim Kill Destroy is taking note of the number of times per episode I use the word egregious.
Well,
so
it's the era we live in, honestly. There's
guess.
a lot of egregious shit going on with gaming.
Well, I don't break it out very often, but stuff like that, I mean...
Sometimes you just don't have another word for something that's that egregious.
Yes. Speaking of egregious, Fortnite.
Yes.
So,
$1 billion.
Yes. In year one, we talked about this last week. They got a shitload of money.
Yeah.
And, so Fortnite Mobile is actually no slouch either. It's been out for 5 months.
Well, of course not, because
on the iPhone.
Because the kids, when they're at home,
right,
they can play Fortnite on whatever system they want.
Apparently, it's at school all the fucking time.
Of course, lunch breaks, detention, whatever.
During the
middle class.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you know, the parents want to go shopping. Kid sits out on the bench outside the store playing fucking Fortnite on his mobile.
Yep.
So,
you know, because they have like open wireless in the fucking malls and shit. So anyway, apparently, $160 million in the first 5 months on the iPhone.
On iPhone alone.
On iPhone
not even
alone.
Android.
iPhone. Well, it's not out for Android yet.
Oh, I thought it was.
Not yet. So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Of that $160 million, roughly 600K of that goes to Apple.
Oh, okay. Just because it's on their platform, basically.
Yes. So it's like what was it? It's $160 million. Is that absolutely correct? That I might be wrong on that figure, but anyway, they get something like 30% goes to either Apple or Android when you have an app on the store and there's microtransactions and shit.
I mean,
it's for licensing. Basically,
A, I'm not surprised, and B, I don't think it fucking matters at this point.
No, it's like a huge cash cow, right?
If I make $1 billion and fucking Apple gets to keep, you know, 100 million of that, you're still making off with $900 million, for fuck's sakes.
So anyway, it is coming for Android soon, but
they're getting it out there. They want that shit as soon as possible.
But here's the thing: a guy who was on like a hacking forum, the Android development community, he was looking through Epic's source code on their webpage, looking for like artifacts and interesting stuff. Sometimes mining that way, you'll find release dates and hidden shit and blah blah.
Yeah.
So apparently, from this Android development community, XDA. The XDA developers is the name of the community.
Okay, yeah.
They discovered evidence that Fortnite might be trying to bypass the Google Play Store and have you like install the package directly.
Like through an APK or whatever? Really?
Yes.
Where would you get said APK from then?
Probably from their website, like from the Epic website. So as you would have to get like some kind of signing, and they're trying to cut Google out of the loop because that's like $600 million extra.
Something doesn't seem right with that. I don't think that's going to fly.
There are screen caps. Well, it's possible. Like Humble Bundle does that for some of their Humble Mobile bundles.
Yeah.
But
But
that's a lot of money.
Android
Yes.
is going to look at a game that makes no money and be like, yeah, go ahead, throw the APK around. We would have got like $100 from you guys.
Well, that's
then they look at
right.
fucking Fork Knife over here and like, oh no, you fuckers aren't getting through the back door.
Well, I mean, that's the problem with having an open system like Android, right?
Yeah,
Which is why I have the shitty iPhone as my work phone. Fucking iPhone. Anyway. So, yeah, I mean, that's a lot of money. And for the amount of money we're talking about for Fortnite,
yeah.
like, that's a lot of money to give up.
It very much is.
Right.
Yeah. And again, like, it's kind of, I can see both sides of
Yeah.
it. I can see Google and Android chasing after them and saying you can't do that, and I can see why
they could try.
Why Epic is trying to do it that way, because if they can save themselves $100 million on shit that just would have went straight to Google, they're gonna fucking try to do it.
This isn't like,
especially after they had to pay Apple and they're like, oh man, that's not a good deal.
well, I mean, for Apple it's secured. You go through or you don't get. That's like pay to play or you're fucking gone.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I mean, this isn't like Punch Quest or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
People know what Fortnite is. Fortnite is, right? They don't need that advertising anymore.
Yeah.
So, is it coming to Android? I don't know. It's not on Google Play. Fuck you. They know exactly where it's going to be. They're going to know exactly where to go. Mm-hmm. And they'll download it and install it, and there'll be instructions.
Yeah. No, it'll be really interesting to see how that turns out, because we haven't seen such a high caliber of a game try to bypass Android before.
Yeah, so the screen cap actually shows it has installation instructions that notify users they might be prompted with security permissions. And this is necessary to install any app outside of the Play Store. So it actually spells it out in the screenshot. So there is no comment from Epic as yet to confirm or deny, but people are, they have the screenshots. They're all over Reddit.
Tries this for $600 million. I could see the developer sending anyone that wants the game a copy of a mini SD card or something. Because, again, it'd be pennies out of their pocket at that point.
Exactly.
And if they're going to hook on some kids for, another hundreds of thousands of dollars, then it would totally be worth it.
Yep.
But that's actually quite interesting. I want to see how that one turns out when it finally drops.
See. Right. Okay. So we talked a while back about Quantic Dream. There was some rumors of things. Mm-hmm. Apparently David Cage and the other founder, Guillaume de Fondelmiere.
Whoa, that's an interesting one.
Fondelmiere? He's French.
Okay.
I probably mangled that up like terribly, but egregiously, one might say.
Just call him Guy French for now.
I will not do that. That's his slave name.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yes. So anyway, they accused both of the leaders of Quantic Dream of inappropriate behavior, inappropriate workplace conduct, etc., etc. Apparently, they turned a blind eye to some sexist and racist jokes and shit. There's a lot of photoshopping going on, and I think you've seen them somewhere on the internet.
Yes.
Yes. Kind of disturbing.
Shit gets around.
Disturbing. Yeah. So anyway, Quantic Dream boss at the time said he was shocked by the allegations. In a statement published to the studio's Twitter account, Quantic Dream branded the claims as slanderous and part of a smear campaign.
Did they air quote it like that?
Possibly.
Possibly.
Well, I'm sure like when he said smear campaign, it would be more of a French accent. So Quantic Dream also sued the publications. Like there were 3 publications.
Right.
And they tried to sue them. So 3 of France's largest media companies for publishing their reports. So here's the thing. The employee in question that had quit went through a process in France called prise d'acte, which translates to taking action.
Okay.
It's essentially a notification of termination made by an employee who considered themselves a victim. So by enacting this step, a worker forfeits their employment rights and salary, but can then petition for unfair dismissal. So if they're like dismissed without cause, they win, they get a bunch of shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the workers' case is examined by an independent labor court, which then decides whether the workers should be treated as if they were dismissed or resigned, and whether they should receive settlement and unemployment rights.
Kind of like doubling down on your situation.
Right. So here's the thing. The court decided in favor of the employee. So the staff member's decision to quit will not be treated as if they were dismissed unfairly, with the rights accorded to this. And Quantic Dream, unfortunately, they have a right to appeal, but looks like this is the first of the 3 that actually appealed or had petitioned for this, that actually they found in their favor.
Yeah.
And now Quantic Dream owes them some
fat cash.
Right. Yeah. And they could be in trouble. So they haven't said whether or not they're going to appeal. I can only assume that they are.
They always do. all these gaming companies,
Right.
no matter what happens, no matter how innocent or guilty stuff looks, it's always the next sentence after, and they're planning to appeal.
Right. I mean, probably even if it does cost them additional money, it's the confidence of the stockholders. You have to go through the motions.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And especially since 2 out of the 3 that actually had filed for this lost.
Yeah.
I think they want to,
They want to even that out.
Right. So we shall see. I did see some of the photos. They were kind of not workplace appropriate.
Yes, quite.
Especially the one with the nipples exposed.
Yes. So, and again, it's one of those situations where you don't want to think bad things of some of your favorite developers and stuff, but then stuff like this gets out and you're kind of questioning. You're like, oh, what's the reality of this?
Never underestimate the human capacity for stupidity.
This is true. No matter where they work or what they do or who
Yes.
they are.
I have to say, though, my workplace Photoshop chicanery was far more entertaining.
Of course. And yeah, yours didn't need to include nipples to be entertaining. So
They didn't need to.
no, they could have though. But yeah, it wouldn't have been to the point where you got in trouble for it. I hope, anyways.
Don't try to rein in my art form.
Your next Photoshop's just going to be all nipples.
They didn't need to include them. They just did.
They just did.
Yep. All right. So, Microsoft has a brand new system for cleaning up the toxic wasteland that is Xbox Live.
Okay.
Yep. So, in addition to their unpaid, bartered labor force that they've got doing community relations,
Yo, I'm getting free games, bro.
right? It's not like you could get paid like a living wage to do that shit.
Yep.
Here are some 400 Microsoft points. Go nuts. Microsoft has filed a patent with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office for a brand new AI technology that detects cheaters on Xbox Live. So it performs an analysis on users' gamer history. So if they find certain achievements they got within a certain amount of time, but it should have taken them like 10 hours instead of the 5 it actually took them, things like that send up flags.
Okay.
So it shows that they've been cheating or they've been boosting or something.
No, I'm just going to throw this out there. I hope that doesn't mean an insta ban. That's like red flags for someone to a human to look into it and be like, oh no, this guy's really good, so he had a chance at actually doing this.
I'm sure that it's going to cut down a lot of the manual effort that will then be followed up by live people that they're paying pennies on the dollar for.
And that's fine, because that's
Right.
the whole thing about that is it again, it's not a direct thing, but it reminds me of kind of how YouTube handles some of their stuff, where they're trying, like, because Google's such a big house and YouTube is so vast now that they're basically trying to get AI to learn and to do everything for them.
Right.
And that's ending up in a lot of like banned and removed and flagged videos and stuff like that for no reason whatsoever. And then all of a sudden they need somebody to email them back saying, why was this flagged? Why was this removed? And then we'll get a human to look into it this time.
You won't get a human on the second try. Second level?
Sorry,
No.
maybe like 5th time. But
Right.
either way, I'm just hoping that doesn't happen for Microsoft. I'm hoping that those flags get raised and then a human looks into it and be like, and then they'll consider it on their own basis.
We'll see. I mean, I'm sure AI is great for removing entry-level positions from just about every company.
Yeah, exactly.
So, they'll probably have that, and someone will mail back and they'll dispute. And because they go through the motions of that, then they'll have either a human to just go, yes or no, and then they'll go through a third step and blah, blah.
Yeah.
And that's where they'll probably get someone to actually talk to them.
Some human interaction in it is always good, especially when you're dealing with people's kind of gaming histories and whatnot. Again, I'm not too bad on that end of things because I'm not a trophy hunter and stuff like that, but I know some of those people are they're fucking diehards. Like if you remove their trophies, their achievements, their gaming time because you thought an AI thought they were cheating and they're just a really good gamer,
right?
They will fucking riot.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends. If you're getting like an achievement that you should have gotten that probably would have taken you 10 hours and it took you like 18 minutes.
Some of them, and then some of them will be just terrible like that. It'll be
exploits.
Like the AI will recognize it right away because they got this achievement that technically they shouldn't even be able to get until they're level 30 and they have a level 5 character and they've only played for 3 hours or something like that.
Yeah, so they say the process of parsing, training, and classifying player data places serious demands on hardware, which means you want a machine other than the server doing the work. And because you don't know ahead of time who might be using this kind of cheat, you'll have to monitor matches as they take place. So it's going to be more offline detection than real time, but it will still take the strain off of live moderators, paid or unpaid.
Yeah, one way or another, getting a set of human eyes on all of those hours of gaming, all of those profiles and everything, that would be That's a large cubicle farm of people working like day and night to do that. So yeah, getting some AI to do that, it's a smart move on their part. I'm just hoping that they use it properly.
Plus, I mean, it's not like they can stop all of the racism on Xbox Live. Otherwise, how will you know it's Xbox Live?
Well, that's why they're working on hard stats first rather than, verbal stuff. Because, yeah, you still need that human interaction at that point. And yeah, Meme Kill is remove my achievements, I'll fucking cut you.
Hey, Cheese Spy.
Hey, Cheese Spy, welcome to the stream.
Fortunately, on the chat right now, you're being shown to us in a very dark blue, so it's very difficult to see.
The purple doesn't help either.
Well, I know that one's Meme Kill, so now I know that's Cheese Spy. If anyone else is in blue, we're screwed.
They're just all blue.
Yes, there we go.
I can't tell anyone apart.
Welcome to the stream, Cheese Spy.
Yeah. Don't worry, we won't cut you. We were just talking about Microsoft.
Yes. Well, apparently Mame Kill's cutting people, so nobody else knows.
He likes to cut people.
All right. So, here we go. What time is it now? I'm just writing down time codes as we go. No, I'm writing down time codes as we go. So later on, like I have to start getting back into the habit of archiving these in like within the day or two afterwards to YouTube, because I've got a backlog like you would not believe. So I want to
beyond your gaming.
Yes. Yeah, I remember gaming. So anyway, so Steam. You've heard of Steam's brand new sort of anything goes, laissez-faire attitude when it comes to games on the system.
Yep.
So we had a bunch of people that had like questionably sexual content that was banned, and then people revolted and they came back.
Yeah.
And Steam basically went, okay, everything goes until people complain and fuck you.
Well, exactly, and that's kind of the situation, because I mean, like, it was a place you could go and you could get super gory, scary games. And
thank you, Cheese Spy, for the follow.
Thank you very much for that follow. That's awesome, and hope you're enjoying the stream.
Indeed.
But yeah, with Steam, like, that's the whole thing, is that you were getting these really weird kind of bans and stuff like that, and like this game or that game, even though 10 other games did the exact same thing. Especially, we had talked about it before, that kind of was a big trigger for a lot of this, was the kind of hentai novel, like anime novel kind of games that were going on.
Pigeon dating.
That didn't have boobs in it, though, or anything. That was literally just weird. And we had a spicy taco roulette for that.
Oh, my God.
But no, like, a lot of those games, because they have some questionable images in them and stuff like that, you had people just kind of saying, well, this game got canceled, but there's like 20 other that do the same thing. Why not them? And then, Steam was just kind of like, oh, hey, all right. Complain about it if you want, and then we'll look at it then.
Now they have overcorrected, though, right? So literally,
they're letting garbage on left, right, and center.
Well, they said in their blog on Steam they would allow everything onto the Steam store except for things that we decide are illegal or straight up trolling.
Okay.
So, and thank you, Rurutu, for that cheer, sir.
Thank you very much for the cheer. Awesome.
Okay,
that helps out so much.
Yes. So, except for things they decide are illegal or straight up trolling. So it's like, everything goes, what could possibly go wrong?
Except for digital homicide.
Worse.
Oh.
Much worse. Enter a game called Abstractism.
Okay.
So this is an indie Steam title that advertised as a trivial platformer. And it turned out to be anything but. So people were noticing that their CPU cycles were high, their GPU cycles were high, but the game is like a
polygons,
very not even. It's like if you go out and look at a screenshot of it, it's super not taxing.
Okay,
we'll say. And I mean the minimum requirements are very, very low.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Apparently the game installed a program disguised as a Steam.exe process that was apparently a shell for a distributed cryptocurrency program to steal CPU cycles for a crypto coin farm.
Of course.
Yes. So this has a name now. It's called cryptojacking. So it's like World Community Grid, but with scumbags instead of cancer.
Of course. Yeah. It was like PS3 folding at home, except pirating
exactly
and for their own gain instead of someone else's gain.
Yes. So just to put the fucking cherry on the shit sundae. The developers posted in their Steam forum, like in the community, right, about better item drops the longer you play, encouraging players to keep the game running all day. Meaning that hackers can maximize their time to mine crypto coins, right? I don't know if it was Bitcoin or what it was.
It was probably some
unspecified.
other cryptocurrency because Bitcoin is getting pretty finite now.
Right. So anyway, a user went out and actually ran the game in like a virtual environment on a virtualizer.
Yeah.
And apparently had huge amounts of CPU, GPU, and RAM, and apparently input-output was consistent with what you'd expect from a crypto miner, they said.
Right.
So, and it also, here's the thing, it also caused a huge amount of network activity that could be explained by the by the program downloading the blockchain. So it was like all the flags that this is bad.
Yeah.
So if you go out now today to Steam, it's not there.
Good.
But who knows how many people that this process is still running in the background. They still don't even know that it's not a Steam.
Because when you uninstall the game, it's
Right.
like, did you really uninstall all of it?
Right. It's like a Trojan. Like it's a terminate and stay resident kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's running this process. It probably restarts this process every time you restart. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, exactly.
So they denied it.
But it's pretty fucking obvious at this point.
It is super goddamn obvious. Like there is no reason there should be that much network activity for a tiny little shitty program.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Is that the end of that one?
That is the end of that one.
I'm
Let's
going to
go
go
to the
back
chat.
to something that Mamekill had brought up. Said, Rabbit wants to know when we're doing another crazy stream with hot sauce challenges and some such. So,
That's an excellent question.
that is an excellent question. Kind of just, we don't have anything, written in stone yet, but we're looking to September because that's going to be our 2-year
Start of year 3.
Start of year 3. So
2-year anniversary.
Yeah, 2-year anniversry of Digital Fiasco.
The official start of season 3.
Yeah,
I think
so-
Player's Guide is kind of getting a head start on season 3, but yeah.
Well, either way, look to September sometime. I'm pretty busy in September with con stuff, so we're gonna have to try to get it
We'll schedule
in there
it
somewhere
in advance.
If not, it would be very early October then at that point. Either way, there will be something like that. We're probably thinking like a classic, like 12-hour stream, a lot of gaming fun, guests,
Taco Roulette.
Taco Roulette, of
Oh my
course,
God,
because
that
I'm
was-
actually looking forward to that again. I don't know why, but I am.
Because you're a masochist like me.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. So yes, we'll have to
can't
go on a hunt
believe-
for some hot sauces and some gross Taco Bell, and it'll be awesome.
But it was like round after round, I didn't get anything until the last goddamn second. It was like,
Everyone gets one.
Yeah. Well, let me just say the Taco Roulette was way better than the shitty jelly bean one. That was
God, yes.
terrible.
Okay. So that'll probably have to come up again too. But either way, it's gonna be a 12-hour stream. There were lots of games, lots of guests, lots of gross food eating and whatnot. So
we have-
it's gonna be a good time. I absolutely adore those streams. It's just they take a lot of planning, and everyone has to be free to be there.
Yeah, but if we do the jelly bean stuff again, it will come up again. I'm just saying. Good
Don't worry,
Lord.
we'll have your spit cup for you.
Oh,
But anyways,
spit
yes,
cup.
look for that in September sometime, probably. We will definitely have announcements out there
Yep.
when everything's official.
Yeah, we'll tell you ahead of time. Probably have some giveaways and shit.
Yeah, we'll probably have some free games to give away and whatnot. So, yeah it'll be awesome.
All right. Speaking of Denuvo, we were talking about that earlier.
Yep.
So let's go back. It was like, I don't know, it was like the last Forza. It may have been, it was one of the, I think it was Quantic Break.
Yes, yeah.
Quantic Break, I think, was the last one.
Well, that was one
like,
of the
major ones.
major ones,
Yeah,
yeah.
under Windows 10, it, like had a huge impact on performance. Causes like false positives that locked out some people from legitimately purchased games. A bunch of shit.
Yeah.
People don't like Denuvo very
No.
much. So this DRM has caused a lot of problems. It was uncrackable until 2016, where it was cracked by a 21-year-old Belgian hacker named Vosky. That is his hacker name. So
I thought that just was his real name. It's like Prince. Like,
it's possible.
My name is Vosky.
Sancho. Are you Sancho? No, you are not Sancho.
I am Sancho.
Sancho. Anyway, so on one hand, it helped a lot of people out who didn't like Denuvo, like reduced their CPU overhead, got rid of the shitty, for their legitimately purchased games. On the other hand, it opened the door to piracy. So it's like either way you look at it, there's an
You open that
argument.
door, anyone can walk through, basically.
Exactly. So last week, Bulgarian police raided Vosky's home. They seized his server, his PC, and they placed him under arrest for suspicion of offenses related to cybercrime.
Okay.
Yeah,
That sounds pretty hectic there.
yeah, he is pretty much done when it comes to hacking. Mark Mulready, the VP of cybersecurity at Irdetto, which is the parent company of Denuvo.
Okay.
He said the swift action of the Bulgarian police on this matter shows the power of collaboration between law enforcement and technology providers, and that piracy is a serious offense that will be acted upon. So he wants to protect his shitty fucking DRM that's eating CPU cycles because it's his bottom line,
Well,
and
I mean,
he's worried about.
It's kind of what it comes down to. It's like, sometimes you want to root for the villain, and this is one of those kind of situations. 'Cause
Right.
It's one thing to have, your game not be stolen. That's fine.
No one wants their game pirated.
Nobody wants their game pirated. They want that money. They want that return because they spent a lot of money and time and effort building said game.
Exactly.
That is perfectly fine. The problem I had with it is when you have these DRMs that basically not only, stop from the pirating, but it breaks the game and it eats up CPU and it does all this other bullshit.
Right, it impacts the user experience.
Yeah, it impacts your user and your gaming experience as a whole, and that's terrible. Like, why would you even attempt to use something that shitty that you would attach this to a game and then all of a sudden it breaks the game? Like, you're going to ruin the sales of that game because it doesn't run well, and then people complain about it, and like it just gets that much worse.
Well, at the same time, like I'm 100% with you, but at the same time, somewhere inside that corporate megalith, there is a guy with a chart, and he's got exactly where their sales meet. Like their sales drop off.
Yep.
How many people will not buy it because of this copy protection, and then it's like, how many sales are we losing to piracy? And somewhere there's a point it crosses, and it's like, this is how much we can get away with.
Yeah.
So past that, as long as X is greater than Y, they're going to put in their shitty copy protection.
But it's one of those kind of short-sighted things. They probably got like a fucking deal on putting this DRM lockout in their game as compared to like another one.
Maybe.
But it's very short-sighted. They're like, oh, we can save a bunch of money if we just put this in our game. But then it hurts the overall sales, because if they put a proper DRM in it that didn't fuck with players and fuck with their CPU and stuff like that, then they may have sold more copies just because people would have had a good experience with the game in the first place.
But up until now, Denuvo has been the most unassailable. It's the one that provides the most protection, because everything gets hacked eventually.
Yeah.
Obviously this got hacked as well, but it's a lot more in-depth efforts. There's been multiple revisions of their technology.
Funny. It's funny with this situation because you have those people out there that do it out of spite now.
Yes.
Because they're like, oh, they use Denuvo, I'm going to fucking pirate their game just to...
But that's an excuse too, though, right? That's just they're choosing whatever the excuse is to enable their behavior, right? They just want a justification. If they're going to pirate the game, they're going to pirate it anyway. It's like they just feel less guilt about that piracy. So anyway, on Reddit, Vosky, he says he's pretty much done with hacking. I says, sadly, I won't be able to do what I did anymore.
Now, so.
Well, basically, not yet.
No, okay.
He's still going to have a trial, but he says, sadly, I won't be able to do what I did anymore. I did what I did for you guys, and of course, because bloated software in our game shouldn't be allowed at all. Maybe someone else can continue my fight. He said, fomenting dissent. Insurrection. Okay. Got some...
When the Metacritic ratings get tanked because of shitty DRM, it's less likely to be pirated. Mission accomplished.
Right. Yep. All right, so...
Oh, and cheese spicing website doesn't work for me, maybe because I'm not from America.
Well,
we're
not from America either.
We're not from America either.
Yes.
We're from Canada, but
it should be available globally.
Yeah,
so.
it really should. So yeah, it should be.
I know it's available in Germany.
It's digitalfiasco.wtf.
Guy in Brazil was there. He was
good.
And
that's the thing is, I mean, if you go there, there's not a lot going on right now because we've been busy with the show and not so much with the website. We are planning to get more stuff going on the website soon. But yeah, I mean, it's digitalfiasco.wtf. If it doesn't work, then who knows? I don't know. Maybe restart your computer.
No,
turn it off and on again.
Unless you're like in China and behind some wicked firewall, who knows? We might be already just blocked in China.
But hey, it's happy here that
right.
we have worldwide fans now.
Indeed, indeed. Well, Guy was like in Brazil, kept tuning in. We have guys in Germany. We have guys in the UK.
It's awesome. I love the internet.
Indeed. The internet is awesome. All right, so a couple of quick hits. Insomniac announced via Twitter that PlayStation 4 exclusive game Spider-Man has gone gold.
Booyah.
As of today. Release is September the 7th.
I was going to say, I hope so. It's about a month out. So.
Yes. Yeah.
Better go gold soon.
God damn it. It's already August. It's crazy.
Well, technically it's
tomorrow,
still July.
But still.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's the 30th day, right?
Yes.
So 2 days. Still.
It's close.
It is too goddamn close. Anyway.
I want my PS Plus games.
Yeah, you'll get that. So anyway, that'll be next Tuesday.
Yeah.
So Kingdom Hearts 3 will apparently take around 50 hours to complete the main story, an additional 30 hours of side content. So 80 hours total roughly to do everything.
That's nice. I like that. Good. I like that it's it's gonna be one of those experiences because we've been waiting like 10 years to play this fucking game. I'm glad that they're giving us a proper experience with this, and like, oh, here's 20 hours for 10 years worth of work.
Did you play 2.8?
No, I have not played it yet. I've played 2 like way back in the day.
Sure.
We have the remaster of it. We just haven't gotten into that. But JT Nuki does want to play it before we get 3. So
yeah, you
so
probably should power through there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So how much of the Kingdom Hearts game is like roughly for playtime?
I mean, they're like a typical kind of RPG, so you're looking at about the 20 to 30 hour range, you know, for the core game of it. Because, I mean, they were PS2 games also.
Just realized we haven't turned on the backlight.
Oh, damn it.
Too late.
Is it too presses?
We've come too far.
There. Our lovely backlight is on now.
Of course, now I think it's kind of orangey.
Cheese Spy says he's from North Korea?
You're from North Korea.
Are you allowed to watch us right now? I don't even know how that works over there.
I'm not even sure if it does work
Either that
over
or he's
there.
trolling. I don't know. Hey, there's a lot of hackers in North Korea.
It's entirely possible.
Oh, you have to wait till it turns red, and I think you press it again.
All right, I'll put you in charge of that.
I'll keep an eye on it. But hey, if you're North Korea, hey, good on you for getting access to internet.
I guess. Ninja Theory's new game, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, has just dropped for Vive and Oculus Rift on July. Actually, it'll be tomorrow, July 31st.
Yeah.
Don't expect a patch for PSVR.
Vive?
That's right.
That's a weird concept for that one.
It's HTC Vive, man.
It's 2 clicks.
Yep.
That's really cool though that they actually have that support, because that game, with the sound effects and how that game kind of affects you mentally, that's actually would be an amazing experience to have. I actually would really like to try that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's not going to come out for PSVR because the system just can't handle it.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. It's going to be like probably full fighting kind of sim. So you really need that kind of 1-to-1, you know, moving around the room and stuff like that.
Right. So,
and Killamo, welcome to the chat.
Hey, Killamo, how you doing, sir?
And a merry Monday to you.
Fucking Monday. Jesus Christ.
Yep, it's Monday.
Don't make me go back on that. So, anyway, so it has nothing to do with Microsoft buying Ninja Theory.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, maybe it does.
Yeah,
but,
maybe.
That's on paper. They're saying it's nothing to do with that. It's just the power of the PSVR doesn't pump it enough.
That's the whole thing. It works, but again, you take a PSVR and you put a Vive like next to each other.
That's like half the resolution.
Yeah, and the Vive again just gives you that room scale 1-to-1 movement that I think would just make that experience so much more involved.
That would be creepy as shit with all those voices around you, man.
I'm actually really psyched for that. I have to find a way to play that, because that would be amazing to have that experience.
Well, step 1, get a Vive.
Well, I have friends that have a Vive, so
okay.
Step 2, get them to buy the game.
Yes. Step 3, profit. All right, and Sega announced on Twitter that the PS4 version of Sega Genesis Classics will be getting a patch to allow play on the PSVR.
Oh, interesting.
Kind of neat.
Is that going to be one of those experiences where it gives you like a fake retro room and there's like a TV in front of you?
Well, that's already what your UI kind of is, right? So
yeah. So it's that really interactive one where it'll have a bunch of 90s posters and a rollerblade in the corner and a skateboard and like
playing on the shitty
Nickelodeon
like,
posters
TV,
on the wall and like
you never know. I mean, if that's what it is, that would be awesome, but
I
so
love,
unnecessary.
I love ideas like the Gear VR.
Yep.
They have a movie, or their Netflix movie viewer.
Yep.
You can choose backgrounds, and one of them is like a snowy cabin. You can look out the window and it's like nighttime and it's snowing and there's like a log fire and you're in like a log cabin and there's a big screen TV in front of you, and it gives you that kind of room experience.
That Apollo 11 experience, there was a bunch of stuff where it was showing like stock footage of Kennedy and whatnot, talking about going to the moon. You were like in the room, like in a lounge chair.
Yeah, so just cool little bits like that. I love it when they do interactive stuff.
All right. So now the big ticket, such as it is, there is not a lot of news tonight, but it's actually taken up a decent amount of time. Nintendo Switch.
Yes.
Talked about piracy on the Nintendo Switch.
Of course. It's important.
This is hilarious.
Okay. Hilarious and important news.
Yes. This is where the title of this episode comes from. So, pirates, or would-be pirates, with a Nintendo Switch should be careful about what they're downloading.
Okay.
So there is a piece of software, I don't know if it's custom firmware, I don't know what it is, but a piece of software made by a group that has hacked the Switch.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to promote piracy, and also because the shit's dangerous.
No, of course, it sounds like it.
So this hacking group released a paid piece of software to allow users to play pirated games on the Switch. So ironically, this software has countermeasures in it to prevent it from being tampered with or cracked. So
they've set up base in the Switch.
the software to pirate video games has an anti-piracy measure in the software.
I wonder if it's better than Nintendo's anti-piracy.
Maybe not.
That's very meta.
So, doubly ironically, the pirates that wanted to get paid for cracking the Switch, their software got cracked. So it's out there.
Oh, delicious.
Cracked and available for download.
Yep.
So, triply ironically, the version of the cracked software that people installed triggered the countermeasure and bricked their systems.
Oh.
So we're not talking about, oh, I need to like just reinstall. No, it wiped out their production, like their what is it here? Yeah, it's just their specific product info. It's like console specific product info.
Right.
Like all their certificates and whatnot for validation. They can't get that back.
Oh.
So it is like hard bricked.
That's brutal.
But I mean, you bring it on yourself. You're installing custom software.
Yeah.
You're trying to subvert the system.
Really going down that rabbit hole.
Right? So, it basically overwrites this section of this internal flash drive on their NAND memory. It bricks the system. So victims of this situation, they can call up Nintendo and try to get customer service to, oh, I'm going to send my thing in. My system doesn't work.
Yeah.
But because it violates the terms and conditions.
Oh, wholeheartedly, yeah.
Right? They're just as likely to say, fuck you. Sorry. All of their games that they bought,
here's
gone.
your brick.
Right. Suck it. Probably they'll lose their Nintendo Online account. They'll lose everything.
Yeah.
Sucks to be them.
This is Ironception.
Right. Ironception. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Go. Oh,
that's awesome. It's so funny that, because I was thinking of like, would people pirate that? Yeah, people pirated a pirate program they wanted money for. Like, holy shit! Like, people are basically setting up shop inside of the Nintendo Switch now.
But it's like the irony that the guys who pirated the Switch, they don't want to have their software stolen, but it's like they don't see the double standard.
Oh no, they see it. They're they're scumbags.
They are definitely scumbags.
Yeah, no, that's basically what it comes down to. Because I mean, when we've had consoles hacked in the past, it was literally, here's the hack, and everybody gets it, and that's basically it.
Right.
Like, it's free. They throw it out there. If you want to hack your root, your system, whatever, fucking go for it.
I had custom firmware on my PSP.
These fuckers are like, here's the thing, but you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
And if you try to fuck with it, we'll brick your system. Like, that's almost like ransomware at that point.
Basically, yeah. I mean, I don't know if the bricking was an intentional side effect or if it was just they fuck with it and screwed up.
Yeah.
But whatever it was, because they were trying to pirate shit, it bricks their system and they are screwed.
That feels like, because they're scummy enough to charge for that, maybe. I guarantee that was like a countermeasure that would be like, if you're trying to, like when you're breaking into like a vault door and you trigger that glass thing that locks it down, or if that's basically what it is. Like, you try to get around their pay for it or whatever, it like just locks everything down and bricks your fucking Switch.
But I mean, what recourse would your average consumer have if their system, like, wasn't even like a hacked software? What if their software just had a bug and it triggered that and bricked your system anyway? Like, you bought it from them and it bricks your system.
They're scummy enough to offer a pirating program for a cost. They're scummy enough to not give a shit if those people get bricked.
Like, what are you gonna do? You gotta call the police?
Yeah,
help. I bought this pirate software.
I tried to pirate something and the pirates bricked my fucking Switch.
Yeah, like, what exactly are you gonna do? Is like,
yeah, I mean, your hands are tied at that point.
So, I mean, I honestly hope the whole situation blows up in their face and people don't trust their software anymore just because, so it destroys their business anyway.
At this point, it has to be, spreading like that now, because, I mean, not that I would use it in the first place, but that really has to give people kind of, pause for thought on that. Like, ooh, is this even worth it at this point?
Tron says it's almost as if hackers aren't totally ethical people. You don't say.
What an interesting concept, Tron.
I'm not really sure where he's going with it, but I'm willing to listen.
Do tell.
Yes.
No, that is really funny. I can't believe that. It's just, there's so many layers there.
Yeah. I mean, I had to laugh today. It's like, I read it and I'm like, oh, people are getting their systems bricked. I'm like, then I started to read why, and I'm like, okay, that's just hysterical.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean...
So, the moral of the story there, boys and girls,
support
is...
your developers.
Support your developers. Don't pirate shit.
To be fair, though, Switch software is a little overpriced.
Yeah.
One might even call it egregious. All right. So you know what time it is.
Absolutely.
It's time to press select in the options menu. And for those of you new to the stream...
Where's the select button? I told you to put a select button on there. It's a horrible select button.
Okay, how about this? But you don't have to take my word for it. Oh. Anyway. All right. So every week we do one of a rotating series of topics called the options menu. This week we are going to be talking about New Game Plus. Games that we return to over and over again just because they are awesome and deserve a second play, a third play, or, sometimes once a year even. Who knows? Like Uncharted. I play that probably once a year. Dan, what do you got for us?
All right. One of the ones I actually return to just from time to time. I'll
be back.
What are you doing?
Keep going.
Where are you going?
I'm right here.
Come back!
I'm right here.
I can't see you anymore. Oh, you have to get your game off the wall there.
Physically.
Okay. There's a game that I come back to just once in a while because it's a very classic game in my mind. A lot of nostalgia attached to it. It's for the Super Nintendo, and I'm a fan of not just platformers, but I love puzzle platformers and physics-based platformers. So obviously not a lot of physics-based platformers on a Super Nintendo.
I would think not.
But a puzzle platformer that I absolutely adored, and I still do to this day, is Lemmings.
Oh God, yes. Okay.
So for those of the younger people in the chat, if there are any out there right now, if you've never played Lemmings, basically Lemmings was it looked like a 2D platformer style game, but the way it worked was you have these dopey little characters called Lemmings, and you had like a whole army of them, but you could tell a particular one or a group of them to act a certain way, so they could dig, they could jump, they could use a parachute so they don't die from fall damage. Like you had these different commands, but you had X amount of each command that you could give them. Mm-hmm. And the whole point was to try to get as many Lemmings as you could from the start of the level to the end of the level without them dying. So I think you typically had 100 of them, and most of them would be like, if you save 50% of them, then you pass the level, but you got better grades for the more you saved.
And because they're Lemmings, they just keep marching forward regardless of the danger.
That was the whole kind of rub to the game too, was that they were stupid, so they constantly walked. So you'd have to kind of block them in areas before you kind of planned out your next movement.
Sorry, I just have a teletype coming in from 1932.
23 Skidoo. There was a lot of fun to it just because it started out very, very basic, and it worked out well that way because it really taught you kind of the core ideas of the game because it gave you only certain tools to work with. The levels were very basic in their layout, so you kind of really learned how you could control the Lemmings, how to kind of like block them from a certain path, because sometimes you only needed like 2 or 3 to go ahead and do everything, and then you could just send the rest of them through. And then you could hit fast forward, and it would just kind of like make them fly through the level and finish it.
Right.
But I believe there was about 200 levels in that game or something like that.
Oh, there's a stupid amount.
And some of those got so fucking convoluted that still to this day I'm like, I don't know how you beat this fucking level.
Honestly, like,
do you have a lot of experience with Lemmings?
I tried to play the game, but I got so frustrated by it. Like after a while, it was just like, man, they just keep coming.
Yeah.
If I wanted frustration like this, at least I want to be playing XCOM. Where at least I have a gun and a 95% chance to hit something always misses.
Yeah, that is true.
At least that I can bank on.
Yeah. But no, it was just, I don't know, even back in the day, was it kind of a hidden gem? I mean, people have heard of Lemmings, but I don't know a lot of people like me that actually, they're like, oh yeah, I fucking love that game.
Yeah, so, maybe not today. I mean, Lemmings 3D, and I think it's an Ubisoft game, isn't it? No?
I think it is now.
I don't know who owns it
I
now.
don't even remember way back in the day, because that was a long time ago. All I know is that my main experience with it was on Super Nintendo.
Right.
I know they had the same game on PC. It ended up being a bit easier to play because you had a mouse to click on things, which was way easier than using a D-pad with all those little tiny Lemmings to like click on one guy that you wanted to use the pickaxe or something. And all of a sudden, he bumps on the wall, and you tell him to use his pickaxe at the wrong time, and he starts digging the opposite direction, and you just drill through the floor, and everyone fucking just walks down and walks into the pit, and they all die.
It's Pikmin, but no AI. Okay.
Actually, yeah, it kind of
Pretty
is
close,
a little bit. Yeah, it very much has that vibe to it. And Mamekill brings up one that he loves to go back to, and
Conquer.
that's the original Command and Conquer.
Rurutu
the
mentioned
classic RTS.
Oh yes, the original.
Yeah.
Rurutu mentioned Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone that's ever played that game, they go back and they play it multiple
Very
times.
very much.
Yeah.
Back to Mamekill, Command and Conquer campaigns. Yeah, and now you can play it on mobile.
Don't even you fucking shut your whore mouth.
With a CGI cane that looks terrible.
Just go back to the live action. It was cheesy and beautiful, and I loved it.
It was the guy from Westwood who used to work on the game. It was just he was cheesy and
He
hammy,
just had
but
shitty prosthetics on, and
it was awesome.
Bad accent and everything.
I miss Command and Conquer. Anyway, all right.
But yeah,
Anything else?
that's a classic one that I go back to from time to time. It's a great fucking game. If nobody's ever played it before, it's not even a hard one to find. I mean, if you go and want to find a copy of it, you can get it on PC. I'm not sure if it's on Steam or not, but it's probably on
must be.
It's probably on GOG or something like that.
I mean,
the Super Nintendo game, I think you can buy it for about $20 now.
Yeah. I mean, Lemmings 3D, I think it's available for various systems at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know about for the PS4, but certainly on PC you can still
Lemmings
get it.
3D wasn't great. I mean, I know they wanted that whole thing of like, hey, let's jump everything to 3D, but there's just certain games that don't work in 3D. So
2D, 3D.
Yeah.
But still.
But yeah, Lemmings was a ton of fun.
DMA design. Yeah. Oh, yeah. DMA was Rockstar back in the day.
Shit. Yeah.
So, Rockstar. Yeah. So they probably have other things to do, I think.
Yeah, they're a bit busy these days.
Yeah. I wouldn't expect a Lemmings game anytime soon.
But yeah, I mean, if you just like some chill kind of puzzle, or at least for about the first 50 levels, then it gets balls hard after that. Yeah. So, what's your game? Your new game plus there.
All right, we're going into the Wayback Machine, and actually, it's a kind of fortuitous because I've talked about this recently, or fairly recently, because these are now both available on PS2 to PS4.
Okay.
The good old-fashioned Destroy All Humans series.
These lovely games.
Oh, yes, for the PS2. For the longest time, these made...
Here, we can rest them on our phones.
Sure, on my shitty iPhone, which will not probably hold that up. Okay, good enough.
We got it.
That'll do. Yeah.
It folds in half. Stupid iPhone.
I'm guessing the iPhone will just break. It'll just snap.
Maybe wants to know, is it egregiously fortuitous?
No, I would say it's moderately fortuitous. But anyway, Destroy All Humans as a franchise, these were the two best games. There were two other games. One was a Wii exclusive called, it was some kind of... play on like the Fat Boy guy, like I don't know. I don't even know what it was because it was terrible. Mm-hmm. And then there was a third one which was Enter the Furon, which was available for
the 360. I believe.
Was available for the 360. It was also available for the PS3 in the UK.
Oh, okay.
They never brought it out here because it ran so terribly.
Yeah.
They just didn't bother.
Yeah, they were just like, nope, this isn't going to sell, and it sucks. So.
Yeah, I have a copy of Path of the Furon for both 360 and the PS3.
And you can confirm that it runs like ass.
It's not great. But anyway, these two, the original two were the best ones.
Does that mean that this collection is... if my baseball terminology is correct, they're batting 500. It's 50% basically.
Sure. Yes.
That's like the minimum grade kind of thing.
Okay, I would say that, except for one key thing.
Yeah.
If you'll notice, down in the lower, where is it? Lower left-hand corner there, you see that logo. You may not be able to see it on
THQ
screen.
One?
No,
or the Pandemic.
Pandemic.
Yeah.
Pandemic. This was back before Pandemic was purchased by EA.
Yes.
Back when they were making games for Activision.
And they were making good games.
Yes. In this case, THQ.
Yeah.
Pandemic was a studio, like their own independent studio. They did Battlezone 2, which is, and I think the original one. Maybe not the original one, but Battlezone 2.
And of course, our favorite series, Mercenaries.
Oh, yes. Mercenaries. Mercenaries 1 and 2, and Saboteur. Mm-hmm. Those were EA ones. But anyway, the original Mercenaries was LucasArts published. Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's weird. But anyway, long story short, Pandemic, great studio. They did not make Big Willie's Revenge, I think is what it's called.
Oh, yes, that sounds familiar. I think that was the Wii one.
Didn't play it. Here it was terrible. Anyway, they didn't make that one. They didn't make Into the Furon. These two games were excellent. The other ones, not so much. So for those of you who don't know the series, you can get both of these now, PS2 to PS4 classics, on PSN if you want to play it on your PS4. And I would highly recommend both of them. Fairly cheap, excellent games. You play Cryptosporidium. I think you start Cryptosporidium 129.
Yeah.
And basically, you are a member of the Furon, which are an alien race that is trying to invade humanity.
They're basically the Greys. Very classic alien design, UFO style.
And, yeah, in fact, even your friend who is named Pox, Orthopox19, is played by the voice actor who did Zim in Invader Zim.
Which just added a whole extra level of comedy to the fucking game.
And the main, like, Crypto is voiced by a guy who's doing like kind of like a bad Jack Nicholson accent.
Or Jack Nicholson meets John Wayne, basically. It was like a mix between those two.
More Jack Nicholson than John Wayne, but it did have kind of that drawl to it. So yeah. Oh, Mamekill says he played it, enjoyed those. But anyway, so you play as this gray alien, basically in the first game. It's like in the 50s. The second game takes place in the 60s, and it's like all full of comedic references of the time. Like in the first one, it's always worried about Russians and the KGB and the Cold War.
Well, and you have the classic G-Men and Area 51 and that kind of
exactly
like the whole alien era of like, oh, what's, in the 50s, it's the classic, you have the crash in the desert and all that kind of concept.
The button-up army guys and guy looks like General MacArthur and like the whole bit, right? Yeah. And you go to various places around the world, you pick up different DNA, you like anally probe people and you steal their brains for their DNA, and that's how you get your power-ups.
Steal cows, I believe, too, with your UFO.
Yeah, like with your actual UFO, because you get to play in your UFO as a vehicle as well.
Yeah.
You could like pick up cows and pick up people and abduct them and shit.
Yeah.
And there's like various missions you have to do that have different goals.
That was the cool
part.
part. Like as you got to like the bigger levels and like the kind of cityscapes and stuff, it was a little bit like an alien GTA type of feel to it.
Yeah. So the first one was kind of objective based. You could go back and forth to the levels and like look for collectibles and stuff, and it was a highly enjoyable game. The second one really tweaked that formula and gave you. Oh, by the way, and you also had like psychic powers, things like you could read people's minds and like mind control them and stuff like aliens, and cause them to like get psychic suggestions to do stuff or follow you or get abducted and shit. But anyway, so they really tweaked that formula for the second one. It takes place in the 60s, and it's like very much that vibe of free love and people like in cults and shit. So you actually like...
And psychedelic drugs.
That too. And your hollow disguise, you actually are now like physically possessing people. So you would like take them over, and then after a certain amount of time, you would basically burst up out of their meat sack and they would die. So in the second one, you're like starting the cult of Arkvoodle, which is like a Furon god, and you're going around and people are actually like flocking to you, and it's like they have like a shitty hippie guru that eventually tries to like take over the cult from you, and you have to like kill him and stuff. And it's all like very much 60s and again, more Russians and Cold War and stuff. But you actually go to the moon and there's aliens and shit. It's awesome. It's basically an open world, massive destruction game where you play an alien killing humans.
Which is very classic, like gray alien powers and abilities and weapons and whatnot.
Yep.
And yeah, they're an absolute blast to play. I never finished 2 because that's when I rented. I used to own the first one, and it was by far one of my favorite games. It's just the control was on point. It had like a good spread of like humor and story and levels. It was just
the humor's so great.
It was just such a beautiful full game that really came out of nowhere. That was when I kind of rented on a whim because I was like, it might be fun, a little shooter game or whatever. And I played it and I'm like, this is amazing. I have to buy this game.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, I absolutely adore that one.
There's even a ninja fight in the second one. It's like White Clan versus the Gray Clan. It was
oh yes, and yeah,
I
just dated myself. Yes, I actually rented a game. It was from Blockbuster, so that happened. Tron had also mentioned one of my favorites.
War of the Monsters.
War of the Monsters.
I have
so
that.
He had played it over the weekend. The PS2 graphics, they're a little bit rough on a modern system now. Still a lot of fun. I love the kaiju battle games like that and everything. And War of the Monsters, I played the shit out of that one. I played it multiple times, got all the unlocked like all the super powerful monsters, unlocked all the levels, and had an absolute blast with that one.
If you go back through our Twitter archive, Tron, you'll actually see a bunch of screenshots I took from both games when I was playing them, I think late last year. Actually, it holds up pretty well, like even the up-resing that they do. I think War of the Monsters was one of the much earlier games.
It must have been because, I think I had actually played it on your PS4 when we were just kind of like looking through your library January or something like
Actually, I think we were at.
that. At the convention, we were at FanQuest. And I was playing around with it, and I was like, yeah, this looks like a PS2 game. And that one, I would love a remaster. Or hey, just make a new War of the Monsters, because holy shit, those games are fun. Can you imagine 4-player of that, like on a PS4? Just some updated graphics and whatnot. I would absolutely love that.
You know what would make great PS2 to PS4 games with trophies that would make Namco Bandai a shitload of money?
Calling you out, Namco.
Where the fuck is my Ace Combat 4, 5, and 0? I mean, you're not giving me Ace Combat 7, so I've got to blow some planes up somehow.
Yep.
Man, all three of those games were so good on the PS2. I would play them, all three of them. I'd buy them now.
I think you just got to go back and hook up your 360 and play with your flight stick there. And
I mean, like that's for 6 I could do that, but I mean, I'd have to break out the PS3 fat there, right? We'd have to sit down and play that. But I still do play Ace Combat. You know, that's such a classic series. Before they fucked up on PS3.
That's why they can't answer us right now. They're so busy working on Ace Combat right now that they won't even take any calls.
God damn it. Anyway. All right. So that is our show for this week, folks. Thank you so much for joining us for Digital Fiasco Live, episode 34. If you like what we do here, please reach out to us on Twitter at digital_fiasco and tell us what you think. If you have any questions, you have any comments, you want to see some stuff, let us know. You can also look on our website, digitalfiasco.wtf, greatest domain name in the universe. I don't care what you say. And you could also check out our
Twitter,
Facebook. I still have SoundCloud written here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you got to scratch that out.
Yep. But anyway, let us know what you think.
Yeah,
We'd love to hear from you.
And as we just said earlier, if anyone would join us in the chat a bit later, we are looking forward to September. That'll be, we're beginning our year 3 of Digital Fiasco, so we're looking forward to putting something together.
Yep.
Hopefully a 12-hour stream with some taco roulette and some great games and some guests.
Our Fiasco-versary.
And our Fiasco-versary. And hopefully some, maybe some games to give away, some prizes and stuff like that. So
Davey Gaming was in the chat at some point.
Yes, yeah.
Just lurking.
He snuck on in there.
Lurking.
But yeah, look forward to that. So we're going to try to plan a fun 12-hour stream there with some prizes and food and whatnot. So it'll be a good time.
Taco roulette is such an awesome spectacle of doom.
Yeah. But of course, check out Twitter, check out the website and whatnot. We will be posting about that when we have more concrete plans.
Yep. So we are going to find someone locally here in the city to throw the stream to. So if you want to stick around for a second, we're going to raid some fine folk. I don't know who's playing currently, but we'll find
They're
somebody.
hiding around the corner, so we'll figure it out.
Yep. But in any case, until tomorrow, where Comic Sans will be back, probably to talk about some nonsense related to something.
Probably just, talking shit about the trailers that came out at SDCC again.
They did. Yeah, there was a lot they didn't get to last week. Standard nerds! Join us tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Time for Comic Sans, and Kelly and Albel will take you through those. But till then, I'm Jack McBastard.
And I'm Dandr0id.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We appreciate it. See you guys later.
Have a good night.